I have been using TWS earbuds for years now, and the one thing I have to say is that I have never tried the Google Pixel Buds, and this is my first time trying them out. I've tried a lot of different brands from different price points, different designs, different feature sets, but Google I've never tried out because they have never been that great with marketing. I most of the time even forget that these exist and they're even a product by Google, and Google doesn't really show these products any love either. These Pixel Buds A-Series, they came out in July of 2021. That's almost 3 years ago, and there is still no update to them, and they're selling at $99. $99 is kind of that very, very intense spot of competition for TWS earbuds because you've got so many competitors within the $75 to $125 price bracket. It's insane. I really, really feel like that's one of the most intense kind of tech areas because, you know, phones, only big manufacturers are really able to pull them off, but headphones, even smaller manufacturers and a lot of audio-based manufacturers, they get into it too. So there are so many brands, so many features, so many different designs that you can opt for. It's honestly like a maze to figure out which one you should get. So coming back to the Google Pixel Buds, why did I get them 3 years after they came out? And that's because I honestly these popped up on sale and I was intrigued, not by the price, not by the product itself, but because of it sitting in that $70 to $120 range. I was like, what do these offer? Why do these exist? And you know, Google makes them. They have to be good, right? Like at least it's got the brand cachet after it. It's a massive manufacturer, so it's got to have some cool features. It's got to be great. There's just got to be something that this offers that the competition doesn't, right? So let me just give you guys a little bit of a quick run through on these Pixel Buds. They cost $100, but you can get them for about $70 when they go on sale. They don't have active noise cancellation. It's only passive noise cancellation. There's no sound modes. You can toggle the EQ through the settings, but that's about it. They are truly wireless. You do get a case with them. They're a traditional, pretty much like kind of an AirPod-ish style case. They are pretty lightweight. The plasticky material on the outside does feel cheap. I mean, all these earbuds do have plastic cases, but this one feels like it was made to a price. It doesn't feel premium in the hand, which is unfortunate because the rest of the quality of this seems pretty nice. It's just that outer plastic, the thing that you pretty much touch constantly whenever you use these, that is a really unfortunate cheap out. It does have an indicator light, which is hidden right there. It's not, there is no cutout for it. It's just under that plastic. And when you open it, you do see that flash. It is a little bit dim, but being under plastic, that's pretty much what you can expect from it. And when you open it up, the buds look like this. They have a weirdly long design, actually. You have the rounded part here, and then the actual bud that goes into your ear, it comes out from a stem, and that stem is where you it pushes into your ear. These, unfortunately, are not very comfortable, and the biggest part is because of these wingtips. So wingtips are great. When you implement them right, they're amazing. The Galaxy Buds, I had a pair from 4 years ago, in fact, that had wingtips that were perfect. They were so good, in fact. Even though they had so many other issues, I kept using them just because of how perfectly those wingtips just tucked into my ear and kept the buds secure. These are not, the intention is good, but the execution not so much. The buds, they just don't do a great job. It's so thick and they're not really contoured or thinned out towards the end, so it doesn't feel comfortable. It feels like something is poking you in your ear constantly, especially when you're moving around. That just isn't a very comfortable outlook. Other than that, you've got the same plastic outer finish as the case on this, but there is a Google logo embossed on here. The inside is a smoother plastic, which is again very similar to the inside of the case. So the materials do have cohesiveness. It does all feel like it's a well-rounded package. There are 2 magnetic pins here for wireless charging, so they do magnetically go back into the case. The magnets are decent, but I think that they could have been a little bit stronger so that the however I put the buds into the case, they would find their way in. But you have to put it generally, like, it has to be about 75 or 85% correctly in, otherwise it's not going to go in. You're going to want to be careful about that, because if it doesn't go in right, then you're not going to be able to get those charged up or even actually close the lid. Now let's talk about the lid. The lid is actually really nice too. It opens very simply. It doesn't require a lot of force, and it stays open, which is great. It's not easily closable, and that's great if you're trying to one-handed take out your earbuds. I know a lot of people don't do that, but on occasion I found that I need to just take out one earbud, and I'd like to do it one-handed. With this, it is actually possible to take it out, close the lid, and to put the earbuds into your ear all with one hand. So that is a nice touch. It does have this weird upwards cut for the lid, which is something I usually don't see. Usually the lids are all very straight edge, but this has this slight upward angle. So if you guys are able to notice, it goes upward like this when the case is open. And the battery life on these are actually kind of middle of the ground. They're not the worst, they're not the best. You get 24 hours of listening time from this, and with one single charge you can get 5 hours of listening time and 2.5 hours of call time, which seems a little bit on the lower end, but 2.5 hours before you need to charge up in the case again. And if you use the case, you've got 24 hours of audio playback and 12.5 hours of call time. So that's an okay number in my opinion, nothing to talk home about. They do mention it has fast charging, but really the fast charging is if you plug it in for 15 minutes, it'll give you 12% of charge, which equates to another hour and a half of listening time. Really not the greatest. I think that should have been a little bit more fast. And there's no wireless charging, but that's kind of a given at this price point. It's not really available on everything. Most products within this price range don't have wireless charging. So I'm not gonna dock points on that for this device. It's fine that it doesn't have wireless charging. And finally, let's move on to actually using these earbuds. So whenever I put these earbuds in, the first thing that happens is that I realize that they're not very comfortable. They don't feel the greatest in my ear. And it's not just the wingtips too. Even the plastic, the shape that it has, it doesn't feel the most comfortable. Not to mention that, you know, I've used other passive noise canceling headphones and they usually have better seals. This doesn't have the best seal. I did try to use the other ear tips. It just still, like, I wasn't able to find the right fit. And I don't think it's the ear tip itself that's the issue. I think that the design of the bud itself is what the issue is. It just doesn't create that really nice seal that at least gives you a little bit of benefit, even though you don't have active noise cancellation. And you know, this does have touch pads on the side, so if you do touch and hold where the Google logo is, it will pull up Assistant if you long press. However, the Assistant has this really finicky feature where you have to hold it down, wait for a second, then give it your command, then you let it go. That's when the Google Assistant will actually listen to your command. If you just long press and let it go, it'll just announce the time, which is super weird. I tried looking through the settings to try to find if I could change that or remove that, but I couldn't find anything. It just announces the time. So I'll explain to you what I'm doing, okay? You guys are watching me right now. If I hold this and leave it, it just tells me it's announcing the time to me now. In every other earphone that I've used, if you long press and bring up an assistant, once you've let it go, you can then speak to the assistant and it'll, once you're done talking, it'll realize that and then go through with the command. With this, you have to hold it, engage it, talk, and then when you let it go, then only is the command finished. And if in the midst of that, you by any chance stop it, or you don't like hold down the finger, what'll end up happening is it'll just announce the time, which gets really weird. Like that's a very unnatural way to do it. You can tell it the wake word. I'm not gonna say it because it's gonna trigger everyone's smart devices, but if you say the blank Google command, it will automatically listen and then you can give it your command. And finally, let's talk about the audio experience. I'm gonna just preface this by saying I'm not an audio expert. I don't know much about audio, nor do I even wanna claim that I can tell you much about it, but from my very basic understanding, it's got good audio, it sounded good, pretty average for the $100 price tag. It didn't sound bad, the bass was decent, and the soundstage sounded fine as well. Everything was pretty, it was very acceptable. There's nothing I can complain about with the sound of this. It didn't sound too quiet or too loud either. I didn't experience any jarring or distortion either. I didn't go above 80% on volume, but at that volume it was very clear, very fine. So audio quality was okay. And as I talk about all this, I think that it's very important now to talk about the competition, because that's one of the key things with the Pixel Buds. So this range just has a ton of competitors, and I've actually got a list right here in front of me, and I'm going to list 4 competitors that are priced right at where this is priced. So there's the Sony C700N, there's the Anker Liberty 4, the OnePlus Buds 3, and the Galaxy Buds FE. All from very large manufacturers, recognizable names. All of them have really different feature sets, but one of the common trends is, except for the Sony, all of them have way better battery life. I'm talking the Anker with 50 hours, the OnePlus Buds with 44 hours, and the Galaxy Buds with 30 hours. All of them have active noise cancellation at this price point. All of them, every single one of those 4 have active noise cancellation, and they all have something where they stand out. And they all are about $99 or $90. This is also $99, but okay, I just told you guys at the beginning of the video, I bought these on sale. So these are on sale from about $60 to $70 depending on where you buy them, when you buy them. Right now they're at $100 pretty much everywhere I checked, but these do go down to $60, $75 from time to time. And at that price point, let's go ahead and find a little bit of a fairer comparison. I have 2 more competitors. One is the JBL Tune 230NC. Those are active noise canceling headphones as well. They have 40 hours of charge, and they have a $60 price tag. Even with the discounted price, these are still a little bit higher than those. And then finally we have the Soundpeats earbuds. And that just goes to show you guys that these are pretty much not the best priced, because the competition has better features. Even if it's on sale, even that competition has better features, or they're cheaper. And that just goes to really explain why these headphones have never made a splash, nor have I ever seen anybody use them. The competition is just way ahead. It's way more enticing. Like, if you were to buy earphones and you looked up on Amazon, hey, I want truly wireless TWS earbuds with ANC, or even without it, $100 is my limit. You've got so many options. The Pixel Buds are something that would not even come up near the top of your search. And that's unfortunate, because Google does have, you know, the might to make these a better product, but they just haven't. So overall, I really can't recommend the Pixel Buds Series A. They should be a $50 pair of headphones at most. And even despite that, I really think that there's a lot of issues with this that are very easy to rectify, but again, it's something that Google needs to pay attention for. Like, these are 3 years old at this point. They're either kill off this product, Google, or update it and make it better, because as the way it sits, I feel like you're just, it feels like it's just a product to have. Like, you can show people, like, hey, I have this lineup of products. Even if it isn't good, it's fine. It still is a lineup of products. I think that that's kind of the mindset Google has right now. That's really stupid and unfortunate. So as I was saying, just really hard to recommend over the competitors. So if you guys want to check out any of the headphones I mentioned earlier, there's some really, really good ones. I'll have them linked down in the description below with these as well if you want to just compare them or see what's up with them. I'll have everything linked in the description. And if you want to talk about anything, if you have any questions about the Pixel Buds or any of the other earbuds that I've mentioned, feel free to ask me down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.